All right. All right. Monero Mateo here. How you guys doing? Everyone who is new, welcome to the channel. We've grown quite a bit over the last 24 hours. I know we have a lot of people from the Reddit forums, and I had made an ask for you guys to check out the channel. Looks like you guys did, so thank you for coming by. I hope that you enjoy the content. So I just wanted to provide an update on what's going on. I was supposed to release a video about Bitcoin washers and mixers, but that's going to have to wait till tomorrow because there's just so many developments happening with this new infrastructure bill. And we've got to provide updates on that. And so we're going to start with a little bit of a victory round because we people in the privacy coin sector, we've been looking forward to this. Not in, that kind of way, but, we've been anticipating this for quite a while. Like, we've been looking for the government to make a move against crypto, and it looks like that move is here. So, yeah, we hate to say we told you so, but we are in the right positions. If you're following this channel, you are ahead of the curve. And if you're in privacy coins, you're also ahead of the curve. Dero, Monero, Pirate Chain, we love it. So, I want to start with a little bit of a victory lap. Hate to gloat though. I'm not trying to be prideful, but Zero Hedge, they posted something. Yellen fights for effort to weaken cryptocurrency reform plan. So if you guys didn't catch the video yesterday and you're not sure what's going on, so what's happening is there are some congressmen in the Senate who are trying to reform a provision that's in the bill, which essentially would make anyone who deals with cryptocurrency into a broker. And what happens if that happens? Well, you have to have all of these regulatory compliance things that you have to do. You have to file a bunch of paperwork. You have to file a bunch of reports to the IRS. You're going to have more taxes to pay. And a lot of these regulations you can't even comply with. It's not even possible to really comply with. And so it would just be a de facto, you can't do this type thing that would be imposed on a lot of the crypto sector. And so that new amendment was provided a couple days ago by 3 senators. And it was trying to make stipulations that made it clear what a broker was. And they tried to make it so that a broker was defined as a crypto exchange, like Coinbase, like Kraken. These are brokers. But the bill was so loose with the language that anyone who, is a miner, a software developer, a wallet developer, is some involved in DeFi, a business that takes in crypto, even if you do peer-to-peer exchange, that could be considered to be you being a broker. And so Yellen is now fighting against that reform plan because Yellen, if you guys don't know who Janet Yellen is, she was the head of the Federal Reserve. She used to be a chairman of the Fed, and now she's the Treasury Secretary. Just goes to show how incestuous the whole thing is. But now she's fighting and lobbying against the new reforms. And so my comment on Twitter, if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, I'm Monero Mateo, same name. Check me out there. I said, this is ominous. Again, we discussed this in our video yesterday. They want to destroy crypto. My new question, is this a prelude to the rollout of the CBDC FedCoin, the central bank digital currency? Because the crypto market as it is a competitor to the central bank digital currencies. And if you look over at what's happening in China, they're cracking down on all the cryptos because they're rolling out the digital yuan. They're not only cracking down on the cryptos, they're cracking down on Ant Group, they're cracking down on Tencent, other big corporations which have their own payment networks. They're trying to crack down on them too. And we can anticipate this is what's going to happen in the United States. So there is that. Our boy Jerry Brito, he made a comment. He said, I will stress, though, the headline is wrong. The Warner Amendment is not compromised. It would make tax provision, the tax provision in the original bill worse than if we had no amendments at all. So you want to talk about a judo move, and this is what we talked about, right? So the initial sentiment on the behalf of the crypto community was like, oh, these senators, the people who wrote this law, they just don't know enough about the crypto community. They don't know enough about the technology to really write language which is accurate enough to describe what they're trying to accomplish. Because to have the language as loose as it was, to have everyone be considered a broker, it's like, no, that can't be possible. Like, they just don't know what they're doing. So we're going to call our senators, make them try to add some specification to the language so that they could accomplish what they're trying to do, and then we'll be well on our way. I said, and, check this out. I said that the crypto community freaking out about this is actually going to embolden all of the banksters, all of the people who are bought off by the banksters, the New World Order crowd, right? They are going to be emboldened by this because they're going to be like, wait, this is going to be awesome. We're going to destroy the crypto industry? We didn't even mean to do that. Maybe not. Maybe they did. Who knows? But now they can be pretty confident in what it is that they're about to do. And so to make it look like they're making a compromise, they're going to come out with a counter proposal, a counter amendment, which could actually be worse than the original thing. So that's problematic. They see the crypto community freaking out, so they may just pass it how it is to hamstring the industry, even make it worse if they can. And somebody made a comment, they deleted it, but they said, wow, I can't believe that they're actually trying to pull this, man. They don't know what they're doing. And if they do, like, they don't know what kind of hell they're about to unleash. And it's like, yeah, we knew this was coming. We people in the privacy community. And that's why we pivoted to Monero, Pirate Chain, and Dero. So here are some updates for you guys. Jake Chervinsky, we talked about him in yesterday's video. He is a crypto lawyer. He's, calm ahead in the space, not so much about the hype, but he's pretty hyped up about this. So we're going to read through this, analyze it a little bit, make some comments. We were on track to pass this amendment to fix the worst issues of the bill. And then Senators Rob Portman and Mark Warner came up from nowhere to blow it up. Now the vote is tomorrow. As a refresher, the current infrastructure draft bill has a provision expanding the tax code definition of broker to include any person who, for consideration, is responsible for regularly providing any service effectuating transfers of digital assets on behalf of another person. Right, so that could be miners, that could be proof of stakers. And from what I could read about the amendment, it favors proof of work miners over stakers. And if you don't know the difference, look that up. That's not for this video. So that puts the proof of stake coins in a dangerous predicament. This definition is widely overbroad. It captures nearly everyone in crypto, forcing them all to surveil users in order to comply with tax reporting obligations. So we talked about this yesterday. Again, it's going to be very Soviet. Everyone's going to have to be reporting each other to the IRS. Privacy is going to be eliminated. And as we said, if the government can't get the crypto sphere to work to their interests, which is taking liberty and freedom from the people, giving more data to big tech, so that they could expand their advertising operations, to expand their surveillance operations on the people, which we saw Apple do yesterday. We won't go into that, but some of you probably heard about that, where they're going to be pretty much spying on everybody's iPhone, looking for certain patterns. We spent all week asking Congress to remove it, change it, or add exceptions to miners, developers, and many others. Thankfully, some smart senators understood that the language in the original draft was unworkable. It treats everyone in crypto like a traditional financial institution, no matter how different they are, and forces them to report data to the IRS that they don't have and can't get. And so there are going to be a lot of businesses which pop up to help facilitate that data transfer, I imagine. So this is just recapping some of the amendments. The amendment was set for a vote yesterday and it appeared likely to pass. It had strong support. And even Senator Portman, who led negotiations on the original crypto provision for the Republicans, suggested that he was for it. Then, in a DC flip-flop so fast it'll make your head spin, Senator Portman proposed his own competing amendment. Probably got a call from the banksters. Co-sponsored by Senator Warren, a Democrat. So it looks like it's bipartisan, so that makes it look better. The Portman-Warner amendment is worse than useless. It doesn't come close to passing the laugh test. It only accepts validating distribution ledger transactions through proof of work, not through proof of stake, only proof of work. Selling hardware or software, the sole function of which is to permit persons to control a private key. Like those little ledger nano things. Portman-Warner protects proof of work miners and some, but not all, wallet projects. That's it, clown face. Not software developers or Lightning node operators, or proof of stake validators, or DEX liquidity providers, or DeFi aggregators. And some of you who are into DeFi and are into staking coins and receiving liquidity tokens and things like this, yeah, this is concerning, right? You guys understand how concerning that is. That could cause many liquidity problems in the DeFi space and really cause some burdens. What really gets me is how Portman Warner cuts out subsection C, which simply protects developers who write code and don't sell anything. This is basic First Amendment freedom of speech. It's jaw-dropping for 2 sitting senators to not get that. Well, look, man, we don't have First Amendment freedom of speech anymore in this country. We're not going to get into that, but like, how many people have been banned off these social media platforms, which essentially de facto have government protections and collusions? I mean, on many, many fronts. Corporations like Twitter and Facebook have colluded with the government for political purposes. And we're kind of living in this fascist state where, yeah, maybe the government can't clamp down on your freedom of speech, even though they have arrested people for, you know, painting over certain rainbow flags downtown. That's considered a quote-unquote hate crime. And then some other things, right? So freedom of speech doesn't really exist anymore in the United States. You can get fired from your job, and a lot of these corporations are protected by the state because the state buys their bonds, and it protects them, it bails them out. Just, yeah, get with the program. We don't have freedom of speech anymore. Respectfully, get with the program. This guy's really smart. We love him. Now we have 2 competing bills, one good and one terrible, both coming up for a vote tomorrow. The correct outcome is for the First Amendment, but good policy apparently isn't the priority here. Instead, this looks like a continuation of the U.S. Treasury Department's embrace of warrantless surveillance and crusades against the financial privacy in crypto. Correct. Crypto is an enemy of the system. And so they want to crack down on it and use it for their own purposes. The strategy is new, but the motivation is not. There's been so much regulatory and enforcement news in crypto lately, it's impossible to keep up. So instead of getting lost in the details, let's step back and consider the bigger picture. What's really going on here? There's an ideological war over self-custody and privacy. Yes. Yes, of course. We've talked about this a lot. Word in D.C. is that this whole thing was the Treasury's idea, and the Treasury has a lot of power, mind you. They don't like what we're building, and it's the Treasury and the Fed, like, just so you understand. It's both of those institutions together. They're basically one. And the Fed is the most powerful institution on the planet Earth. Okay? If the Fed wanted to, they could crash the entire planet tomorrow. Like, you know, imagine Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Fed, going to work one day, and, you know, somebody spills coffee on his shirt. Some crypto libertarian freak like you or me comes up to him and says, "Hey, screw you." Maybe he doesn't like that. He's having a bad day. Maybe he catches Hunter Biden with his wife when he goes home. I don't know. He's having a bad time. And so he's like, you know what? We're going to raise those rates on, we're going to raise rates 20%. Boom. Nukes the entire planet. The bond market crashes, stock market crashes, real estate market crashes, and everyone's poor. That could totally happen. That's how powerful they are. Word in D.C. is that this whole thing was Treasury's idea. They don't like what we're building, and their solution is to obtain jurisdiction over non-custodial actors. Am I still recording? Sweet. Problem is, they might succeed this time. Portman Warner is DC gamesmanship at its worst, but I have to give it to them. It's a nifty political trick. Although the amendment is garbage, Senator Warner's involvement, probably with Senator Warren, Warren's going to vote for this, involvement makes it bipartisan, which means Dems can vote for it. Of course, yes. They are indeed very nifty. So anything that lessens the freedoms of the people, anything that really gives more power to the government, gives less power to the people, there's going to be a bipartisan move for it. Whenever they expand the debt ceiling, it's bipartisan. Whenever it comes to putting out legislation, which is worth trillions of dollars, there's bipartisan legislation. or bipartisan support. I can barely talk right now. A lot going on. And so, yeah, of course there's bipartisan support. Dems can say we fixed the crypto provision without actually fixing the crypto provision. Even the White House jumped in. And as we see here, yes, the Biden administration is getting involved. The White House wrote in a statement late Thursday that the amendment put forward by Senators Warren, or why do I keep saying Warren? Warner, Portman, and Sinema strikes the right balance and makes an important step forward in promoting tax compliance. But we can't stop them. To do that, we need to make more calls, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, cope. Both amendments are up for vote tomorrow. I'm lucky to be working with all the smartest people in D.C., but even they aren't sure how the process for competing amendments work. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Yes, this is how a bill becomes law. It isn't pretty. The infrastructure as a whole is very likely to pass. Then it'll go to the House. Yep, so pretty crazy stuff. The banksters are making their move. Janet Yellen has been privately lobbying lawmakers against Wyden Loomis Toomey crypto amendment as White House seeks to fend off push to limit new regulatory authorities. Yeah, so they're making their move. It's happening a little bit sooner than I thought, but you know what's happening as a result of all this? Privacy coins are skyrocketing. Okay, Dero. Well, Bitcoin itself is up 8% today, so Dero's up about 20-something%. Pirate Chain's up another good 10%. Monero's been spiking all week in response to all this. So yeah, the privacy coins are taking off. Now, maybe people are buying privacy coins so that they can put it on a flash drive and then give it to their favorite senators to try to vote against this stuff. But, yeah, they're making the move, guys. They're making their move. And we're just going to make this a shorter video for today. I've got things I need to do. That was the wrong way. Over here. No, over here. Okay, well, so it's crazy. It's crazy, but if you've been following this channel, you've been seeing this coming. They're going to crack down on crypto because we are going into a totally technocratic totalitarian system. And this is problematic. This is problematic. This is why we get into privacy coins, because we want our assets to be protected and we want to trade with each other without having to be watched by Big Brother and Big Sister, right? Big Sister, that's problematic too. But yeah, I have nothing more to say. I'm kind of tired today. I've just been kind of burnt out when it comes to some of this stuff. I might take a little bit of a break, but there's a video coming tomorrow on Bitcoin mixers, Bitcoin washers, and why Monero is superior to using those services. And you're going to get to look at surveillance in the Bitcoin sector, which is more than people are aware of, unfortunately. I'm still on Twitter and I'm still on other places, and people still think Bitcoin's anonymous. Like, they look at these bills that they're trying to pass in the Senate, and they're like, oh, well, this had no effect on us. Bitcoin's private and anonymous. They can't stop us. They can't see what's going on. It's like, no, Humberg doofus. It's totally tracked and traceable. So we got to get the word out, ladies and gentlemen, on Monero, Dero, Pirate Chain, and the great privacy sector, and go ahead and make that happen. So pretty crazy stuff. This is Monero Mateo. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, share the links, inform others as to what's going on. Like the video so I can get higher in the algorithms. And like me on Gab, Twitter. I have Odyssey now. Check me out on Odyssey. I'm going to be posting the stuff over there too, in case stuff happens with YouTube and we get in trouble. So, yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. God bless.